Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So, some interesting news to get through on today's show, of course. So, let's get starting off. The big one, the big story, of course, is Harry Maguire. Now, the club captain, as we know, had a very poor season last year. He did not play a lot of matches, and now it has emerged coming out from a lot of the Sun's papers. Look, it's come from the Sun, but it has come from other sources as well. So, that's why we want to report on it. But Harry Maguire losing the Manchester United captaincy. That is the big talk at the moment. And who else is going to replace Harry Maguire as captain? None other than Bruno Fernandes. Now, we've seen Bruno basically become the captain last season. We've seen him play pretty much all season wearing the captain's armband, and Ten Hag seems to be willing to make that change. He seems to want to see Bruno Fernandes as his captain. And look, I'm feeling good about this. I really think this is the correct move. And look, Manchester United, we're trying to be ruthless at the minute. We're trying to move players on who we do not deem are going to be good enough in the long term. And one of those is going to be Harry Maguire. So, look, we have got rid of David De Gea, of course. Now, De Gea last season, for his fault, he did win the Golden Glove. We have to be ruthless. We have to get rid of Harry Maguire. And getting rid of him as captain, it's an important first step. Look, this isn't like other times when we've had captains at the club who haven't really played a lot of matches. We've seen this with Gary Neville. We've seen this before as well with other Manchester United captains. You know, they haven't played a lot of matches, but what they have done is still maintain the captain's armband. Harry Maguire, he does seem to be moving on, and we have to think this is nothing but a good thing. He does not fit the system. His weaknesses, they're too easy to exploit. He is too slow. He is not quick enough. He's not good enough on the ball. So I think this is nothing but a good decision. I can see Hot Fuzz is down there. Good to see him, man. As yeah, I think this is beginning of the end for sure, man. And Yusuf as well. Good to see you, man. And Ibrahim and Ahmad as well. Good to see you guys. Look, I'm agreeing with what Ahmad is saying there. You know, regardless of what you think, I think Bruno Fernandes is the prime candidate to be the captain of Man United. You know, he has his moments where he gets upset, where he gets frustrated. Sometimes he doesn't play well, but Bruno has been one of our best players for a long time now. He is very vocal on the pitch, and I've always thought that he has that sort of leadership qualities in him. Look, we've seen it when things have gone wrong. Of course, Manchester United fans, where they were booing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in his last match, Bruno Fernandes walked over to the wet fans. He directed the blame to the players. So for that, he earned a lot of respect in my mind. I think he is the perfect man to be Manchester United's captain. But I'm asking you guys on the poll today, we were asking who should be the Manchester United captain? Who should be the next guy to wear that armband? So the options I'm giving you guys, it's Bruno, it's Varane, it's Casemiro, and it's Lisandro Martinez. Now, Leitch, I think, would be an absolute shoe-in to be a future captain of Manchester United. Maybe a little bit too early for him. Probably the same with Casemiro. And I think Varane, yes, but it comes down to match time as well. He can be injured from time to time. I think Bruno is the natural choice. And let me see, Jarl is saying as well, Bruno captain and Casemiro or Martinez as second. Can't wait to see Varane and Martinez play together again. And Ibrahim says as well, we want to see Bruno as captain. Look, I think this is a good move by Erik Ten Hag. We are being ruthless, and that's the most important thing. You know, we have got rid of Cristiano Ronaldo this season. We have got rid of David De Gea now. Maguire was dropped from the team. Now it looks like he's losing the captain's armband. I would expect him to be moving on. Obviously, there's a lot of different things that have to happen for Maguire to leave. Number one, we need to get a club to buy him. We need somebody to pay those astronomical wages that he is on. Harry Maguire, of course, on £250,000 per week. I think it's a good thing that we're moving this guy on. I just feel like it's time for a new start. It's time for a new beginning. Maguire, I mean, Harry Maguire got the club captaincy after around 6 months of being at Manchester United. I think that was a weak decision. I feel like they wanted to capitalise on this guy is the most expensive defender in the world by giving him the captaincy. I think we are better moving on from Maguire, and he hasn't really achieved all that much in a United shirt. His United captaincy, his time as United captain has been marked by failure, and a lot of failure across the board. Now, Stephen is down there saying Bruno is too petulant. Look, I think that's a good point. But I feel like as well, it does highlight that Bruno genuinely cares, and he is a player who gets wound up easily. He does complain to referees, but I don't mind that. Like, I do not mind that. And Yes, I think there are some times when Bruno's temper boils over, but I feel like he is probably the outstanding candidate. I think in terms of longevity at the club, in terms of what he has done as a Manchester United player, he is the perfect man. Greg is saying Bruno's qualities for captain are the same as Beckham's: high standards on the pitch, plenty of work rate. Bruno always puts in a big shift, just like Beckham used to. Thank you very much for that. Yes, Bruno runs his socks off, and I think this season we're going to see a much better Bruno Fernandes. I think bringing in a striker is going to be massive. Bringing in Mason Mount alongside him, we're going to see a better Bruno. And Bruno with that captain's armband, I feel like he's been very good for Manchester United. I cannot complain about the guy overall. I feel like he's done so well. Bodie is down there as well. I think Bruno should be the next captain. We do seem to be getting a lot of Bruno support, so I love to see it because Bruno's one of those guys. I feel like he gets a lot of hate from the fan base when things go wrong, but he genuinely is a world-class footballer, and I feel like he is the right man to be the Manchester United captain, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Erik Ten Hag seems to concur. He has made Bruno captain on the pitch last season pretty much all year. When Maguire did not play, it was Bruno Fernandes. It was Bruno who led us to the Carabao Cup. It was Bruno who led us to the FA Cup final. And I think that Bruno is the obvious candidate. And I feel like this is a good move for Manchester United. I feel like it's going to raise the standards up. And as well as that, what it does show as well, guys, it shows that even if you're a club captain, even if you are Cristiano Ronaldo or David De Gea, a Manchester United legend, nobody's safe. It's perform or go. And I love that. Like, this is something we've needed for a long time. We've begged for standards. We've begged for that sort of level at Manchester United where we actually see genuine standards at this football club. We have missed it for a very long time. I feel like we're getting them back. And look, we have to be ruthless with the likes of Maguire. Absolutely. Look, I think the main thing is we've managed to ship on some big players. I feel like Maguire will be the next one. And look, Erik Ten Hag, he will be sick of it as well. Erik Ten Hag cannot do a press conference without being asked about Harry Maguire. Erik Ten Hag cannot talk to the media without Harry Maguire questions coming up. And I am sure that Erik Ten Hag is feeling, I'm sick of this. I want to be asked questions about my football team, not about Harry Maguire who isn't playing. And it does feel like that's been how it has been for Erik Ten Hag. It's genuinely a case that when he has been asked questions by the press, by the media, it's always coming down to Harry Maguire. And I just feel like the circus needs to end. I feel like if we're going to get rid of David De Gea for winning the Golden Glove, if we're going to get rid of Cristiano Ronaldo for speaking out and doing that interview, we have to get rid of Maguire. Standards have to be there. It has to be based on performance. And I feel like the most common one, the one we really can relate to, is the De Gea situation. Now, De Gea won the Golden Glove last season, only conceded 9 goals at home in the league last year, and he has been moved on. He's been moved on because United want to play a more stylistic type of football. We want to be more expansive, and we want to be better playing out of the back. I completely agree with that. So let's move Harry Maguire on, because as much as David De Gea couldn't handle playing out of the back in the Ten Hag system, I don't think Maguire can either, and he needs to be moved on. And there are much better players out there. And look, you have a guy there, £250,000 per week wage. He is what, like 5th choice centre back? We even played Luke Shaw at centre back ahead of Maguire. So how this guy can be captain, I don't know. I feel like Ten Hag is making a very good decision with this, and it's going to help us in the long run. I can see comments coming in. Yusuf is saying, any news about sales and outgoings? Yes, there are news about outgoings, so let me get through those as well, man. So Harry Maguire could be set to leave. We can see this from the report. So Maguire is set to officially lose the captain's armband at Manchester United this week, even if he refuses to leave. So it does look like United are putting the squeeze on Maguire. I'm happy about this. This is the right one to move. This is the right thing to do. Get rid of this guy. He has been very culpable in many big Manchester United defeats. I feel like as a leader, he just doesn't have the skills. We've seen in his post-match interviews, he always seems to blame either the referees, he blames his own teammates. He doesn't take the blame himself. It's always somebody else's problem with Harry Maguire. So I feel like we're making a smart move getting rid of this guy. So let's get talking about sales, because we do have one. So Amad Diallo is a player attracting a lot of interest at Manchester United at the moment. So he could be going out on loan. I feel like this is the right move. I've been saying this for a while. I feel like Amad will get better for Manchester United. He will grow into a better footballer, a more well-rounded player with match time. That is the most important thing for a young player. There is no doubt in my mind about it. Now, if Ahmad is not going to be given match time at United, if he is going to be third choice behind Sancho and Antony on that right-hand side, I would like to see Ahmad get a loan move. And I feel like that's going to be a smart move. So we've seen interest from Burnley, Sheffield United, and from Southampton. Now, I do believe that Sheffield United are in the Premier League next season. I know Burnley are for sure. So, look, I think those are good moves. If we can get Ahmad a season playing first team football every single week in the Premier League, that's going to be better for him. It's going to be better for Manchester United. And I know a lot of us want to keep Ahmad. He's a very exciting player. Had a brilliant season last year. But I do feel like if we move him on, if we give him a loan, he can get even better for Manchester United. And that's what I would be encouraging United to go with. Ahmad is saying the English media's obsession with Maguire is unfathomable. Absolutely, man. Bodie is down there as well saying, has Onana signed for Manchester United yet? Look, Onana hasn't quite signed yet. Now, we do have a lot of news breaking on this. So, look, whenever we see details coming out on salaries, on wages, Fabrizio Romano says 72 hours until the signing would be complete. And that, of course, came out on Friday. So, look, somebody somewhere, they're taking a weekend off. Make no mistake about it. They're having a nice weekend. Maybe going to Silverstone for the F1, maybe going to Wimbledon. I don't know. Somebody has took a nice little weekend off somewhere. So this will be complete. Make no mistake about it. I'm going to say 100%. It's a big statement, but I 100% think that he will be the guy to come in as the new number one of Manchester United. So, Ashid is on there. Good to see him, man. And Zayn is saying Lisandro Martinez should be captain. He would have the quality of Roy Keane, shouting at players if they mess up, and he would be the leader Man United have not had since Roy Keane. Look, I love Lisandro Martinez, and I think the guy will be a Manchester United captain. Make no mistake about it. I feel like maybe after one season, it's too soon. I feel like Bruno is at the right age now, 28 years old. He's at the right time in his career to be United captain. He is one of the most senior players on the pitch. Got that longevity, has been there. He's been there for good times with United. He's been there with bad times. I feel like that's going to be the smart move. And maybe Lisandro Martinez is the next captain. Lisandro Martinez, guy's only 24. Bruno, I think, has another 2 to 3 years of Manchester United. So we could be looking at Licha around 26, 27 in that sort of maturity, getting his captain's armband. That's what I would like to see United do. Jarl is saying Pellistri looks to go on loan to Utrecht. Yes, we have seen this. So Facundo Pellistri is attracting interest from the Dutch league. So Utrecht are interested, as are FC Twente. So this is coming in from Dutch sources. They're eyeing Facundo Pellistri and have made an approach. So look, I feel like this is something that we've been waiting for a while. Facundo Pellistri is in the exact same position Amad Diallo was in last season. In that position where he needs first team football. He needs a good loan spell to improve, because as good as Pellistri is, as promising as the guy is, I don't think he's going to break into the team at Manchester United. So I feel like if he can go and get himself a nice loan move, that means he can come back in 1 year's time with a full season under his belt, playing in a good league for a good team, week in, week out, and that will mean that Facundo Pellistri will have the development and the experience needed to make a real push for that first team position. Juju is saying that's a wonderful deal for Onana. Yes, I'm very, very happy with that. Onana, look, that's a brilliant wage for Manchester United, 6 to 7 million euros plus bonuses per season. I feel like that's a very good wage. We're not overpaying the guy. He's doubling his salary from Inter Milan anyway, so it's appealing to him. It's around about 120, 130,000 pounds per week. And when we consider we are playing Anthony Martial, 250,000 a week, Harry Maguire, of all people, 250,000 pounds a week, getting Andre Onana on that sort of salary, that's going to be a big, big difference to Manchester United. And I would like to hope that we're going to do something similar should we buy Rasmus Hojlund. Look, we have to pay Mason Mount more. Of course, he's on 200,000 a week. It's what Chelsea had offered him, and he turned it down to join United for the same salary. I'd be happy with that, but I do think that getting that wage bill down will be key, because when we have lower wages, we can sell these guys on. One of the big reasons we're still seeing Harry Maguire at this club, Anthony Martial, is because those guys are paid so much money that other clubs will not pay them. And are they going to take a pay cut? A lot of them don't. Let me see who's done here. Terry, good to see him, man. Luman is saying Bruno might get buried under the burden of captaincy, but it might make a positive impact on the moaning. Look, I think Bruno will be a good captain for Manchester United. I think we've seen it last season. I'm feeling good about that. Let me see. Ashid is saying Bruno captain next season. Gani as well. Can't believe people voting Bruno. He wouldn't be starting many games, to be honest. Look, Bruno will be starting, no doubt about it. Bruno will still be first choice in midfield, and he will be playing a lot next season. Vera is saying, let's be honest, Casemiro deserves captaincy, but the problem is he does not speak English well. I think that's an interesting point. I feel like the captain's armband, it is a big thing in football, but it meant more 10, 20 years ago. I feel like we have leaders on the pitch, and I would say that we have Casemiro as a leader on the pitch, Varane, Martinez, we have Luke Shaw, Marcus Rashford, guys like that. They've got the experience, they have the leadership on the pitch. They don't actually need a captain's armband to tell people where to go, or to shout at people, or to moan at people, to direct on the pitch. I don't think we actually need a captain's armband. So look, it's nice to have, it's good to have in terms of what you need as a player, and I feel like it's a good reward for Bruno Fernandes, but we don't really need a captain's armband on Martinez or on Casemiro for them to be a leader on the pitch, in my opinion. Luman is saying taking away a captaincy on Maguire would have any impact on the squad. Look, I feel like yeah, Harry Maguire, I would like to see the guy sold. I feel like that's the best move we can make at Manchester United. Selling Maguire, moving him on, brings money into this club, and that means we can buy more players. Manchester United, we would like to see Joao Felix on loan, potentially. We're looking at Sofian Amrabat. We're also looking at Zion Suzuki, so I see some of you guys talking about him down below. We need to sell these players to get more players in. I think we have the budget for 3 players, and those 3 players are going to be Mason Mount, who we've bought, Andre Onana, who will be official this week. There will be no doubt in my mind we will see Onana holding up a Man United shirt. And then it comes down to the striking position, and it looks like it's going to be Rasmus Hojlund. So I feel like we have the budget for those guys. Anything else coming in, it's going to be dependent on sales. I want to see those sales going quickly. Maguire, prime suspect. We can sell him on, hopefully, for £20 million. I feel like that's a good marker, and I feel like clubs will be willing to pay him that much. A lot of it depends on himself, and it was added in that article. Harry Maguire might refuse to leave Manchester United. He might not want to go to a club that is his level because he knows he's punching above his weight and he will not play at a top club. We're not going to see Liverpool or City or Arsenal be interested in Harry Maguire. We're seeing interest maybe from Tottenham Hotspur, maybe from a Newcastle, an Everton, a West Ham. That's his level. And I feel like when he's at this level at United now, he's going to try stay. Let me see who else have we got. Ken is saying, I feel like it could be better. It could be sad to see Fred leave, been one of my favourite players. Look, I like Fred as well. That is one potential outgoing that we do have an update on. So this is coming in from Fabrizio Romano. So he has been saying Fulham will bid for Fred, as will Saudi clubs as well, and playing a more important role is key now for his future. So Fred wants first team football. I think that's good because I want to see the guy do well, and I think that's good. And it's one thing I will say about Dean Henderson. Now, we can question his professionalism, his attitude at Manchester United, but one thing he has always made clear is he wants to leave to play football, and I would never hold that against anybody. If they want to leave, go on ahead, do it. And if you want to go and better your career, have a long future at a team, play lots of football, that's good in my opinion. What I do not like to see is guys who are happy to sit here and just collect a paycheck. Guys who are only here for the money, who have no intention of being here long term, who have no intention of adding to this team, because we've seen a lot of them. Obvious example is going to be Phil Jones. The guy was here for year after year, turned down moves, turned down loan spells, and he should have left. That is something we don't want to see at United. When we see guys like Fred wanting to leave because they want to be playing matches, they want to be playing football, that's good in my opinion. I'm happy for those guys to leave. Let me see. Vera is saying, excited to see Mount on Wednesday and excited for the Leeds match. Yep, look, I'm excited for that as well, guys. Probably will do a watch along on the channel for it. It's something I've been looking forward to for a long time. You know, we've had all these takeovers, all this transfer stuff. Let's get down to what United are really about, and that's the football. That is the stuff that happens on the pitch. That's what gets us excited as fans. Ken says, I think defenders make the best captains. Do you agree? I feel like I feel like the best positions to be captain are midfield or defenders. I feel like when you're in the middle of the pitch, you're up and down, so you can communicate with the whole team. Same with defenders. Goalkeeper, they're a little bit isolated at the bottom of the pitch. Strikers a little bit isolated at the top. United's best captains, they've always been midfielders or defenders. Looking back at some of the greats, Brian Robson, Roy Keane, midfielders. Looking at defenders, obviously guys like Gary Neville in there. So I feel like vocal areas are most important. It comes down to characters as well. I'm not saying if you're a striker you can't be a great captain, but I do think that I do think it's important that they are in a position where they'll be able to communicate with the whole team, and that's why I feel like goalkeepers are a little bit isolated, all things considered. And let me see who's down there. Juju is saying, when are United going to play a first friendly match? That will be Wednesday night against Leeds United in Oslo, so I'm looking forward to that one coming up very soon, guys. Stephanie's saying, another great poll question, big ups. I am an unofficial captain, Camp Leitch or Casemiro for me. Yeah, look, I completely get you. Like, look, I've been saying already, look, you do not need a captain's armband to be a leader on the pitch, and that is absolutely true. The best teams, they have leaders throughout the team. Doesn't matter if you have a yellow armband on, you're a leader on the pitch if you are a big personality, if you have the experience, the quality, the leadership skills. I don't think you need a captain's armband to be a great leader on the pitch. United in years gone by, looking at that class, looking at the treble winning team, you could arguably say most players had captain's qualities. Schmeichel, Neville, Yap Sam, Ronnie Johnson, Roy Keane obviously was the captain, but Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, guys like this. You have leaders across the pitch. You cannot rely on just one man, in my opinion. Liman is saying, Stefan, in this social media world, why are we allowing rival fans to laugh at us on dealing with De Gea? Look, I feel like rival fans are, it's a bantering thing. We see this all the time. United fans do it as well, make no mistake about it, but I do agree, like, there's a lot of bantering, there's a lot of laughing and stuff. Look, the thing is with De Gea, club legend, yes, was it time to move on? Yes, so I feel like they're just kind of bantering United fans, but we've done it as well. We've done it loads of times. Aubameyang, prime example, the likes of Havertz and guys like that. We see it on Twitter. Everybody is more interested in point scoring than their actual football club, and it does seem like rival fans are more interested in Manchester United than what they are in their own team. Let me see, just goes 14 to go. Like the video, yes guys, drop a like on the video as well, that could be much appreciated. Thank you, Jis. Let me see, Clayton is saying I am happy too, and Ken is saying I saw a highlight YouTube on Zion Suzuki. He looks a very good footballer and would be very good to come in against lower cup teams in cup matches. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I feel like Zion Suzuki would come in as a second choice. He does have very good positive skills. His distribution is fantastic. He's a good shot stopper as well. Now, some things that I have noticed that I think he can improve on is whenever he's pressed, he looks a little bit panicky. So I feel like that's a composure that will grow with him as he gets older. The guy's only 19 or 20. So look, composure, mental skills, those come later down the line. Young players, they're always in a rush. It's always rushes of blood. So it can happen. But I feel like he's a good player, and I would like to see him brought in. Eddie is saying, Casemiro for captain, Bruno whinges too much. And Ali says, can you do a watch-along for the Leeds match? Yes, man, I will try my very best to do that for you guys. I feel like that might be a fun thing to do together. Zian is saying, do you think Mount should have got the number 7 shirt? Look, I feel like that's a good question. Look, in years gone by, I would have been against it. I feel like you have to earn that number 7 shirt. Now, what I will say, obviously, it's a very special number in Manchester United history. Some of the very best players who have ever played for this football club wore the number 7. Brian Robson, Eric Cantona, Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, guys like that. But in the same hand, we have had Michael Owen, we have had Memphis Depay, we've had other really poor players like that. So I feel like the number 7 doesn't have the gloss that it once did. I feel like it doesn't have that sort of mystique that once was on there. Apologies for that, guys. I feel like there's a thunderstorm like right above my house, so I did flash there. Let's hope the power stays on. If it drops off, I do apologize. I'll try my best to get the stream back up and running. If not, we might have to go and cut this one early. Hot Fuzz is saying, can we banter Spurs for Dyer choosing to stay at their club? Look, we can do, absolutely, but this is just something that happens. It's football. We always see bantering. It's a thing. Keel is down there as well. I'm doing good, man. I hope you're doing good as well. Loads of votes on that poll as well. So who should be the next Man United captain? 130 of you guys have voted, and a lot of people are feeling like Bruno Fernandes should be the next captain. We have 72% saying, Bruno, we have 7 for Varane, 8 for Martinez, and 13 for Casemiro. Look, I feel like those guys are the natural candidates for the Manchester United captaincy. Let's see what happens. Look, I'm looking forward to it. I really feel like this is a new era at Manchester United. Moving to Gea on, Ronaldo 1, getting rid of Maguire, new captains. This is what we should have had last season, in my opinion. I feel like a bigger club and a more organized club, a more serious club, would have done this already. But I'm feeling very good about it. I'm feeling very positive about where United are going this season. Let's see what happens. So let's get back to the news, guys, because there was some stories we want to go through. So we're going to be talking here about Rasmus Hojlund. So potential striker signing. I'm liking the look of this. It looks like something has happened. So personal terms between Manchester United and Hojlund have been agreed in May, according to Fabrizio Romano, so that's nothing but a good thing. It means we are proactive, we're making moves. So this is coming in from Italian sources as well. Hojlund is pushing to go to Manchester United. They're investigating the attacking issue after the Andre Onana deal. So look, I'm expecting us to be working on that deal already. Onana, it's all but confirmed. Manchester United, we just need a here we go from Fabrizio, that Ornstein exclusive, and we will be there. I fully expect to see Andre Onana in a Manchester United top by the end of the week. I feel like there's a real potential there. Who else is down there, guys? Stephanie's in there as well. And Luman says, my captain at the United philosophy is Stephanie Griffin. Honestly, guys, yep, we will get a captain's armband. Maybe we can do that for member stuff as well. Maybe I'll like get a captain's armband and we will do it monthly or something. Ashid is saying Gary still hasn't apologized to Bruno Fernandes regarding his comments last season. Yeah, look, that annoyed me at the time. That's definitely something that I would like to highlight, was basically completely unfounded, was that Gary Neville had blamed Bruno on looking to be subbed off. I don't think he actually had indicated that at all. So look, it's easy to speculate. I would have liked him to have come out and at least said something like that. Greg is saying, slightly changing the subject, may I say, great job on this channel. I subscribe to United Stand and Stretford Paddock, but if the streams clash, I prioritize this channel. Top drawer. Thank you, man. Honestly, like I wouldn't ask you guys to watch me over anybody else. Like, we have a small community here, but I like to engage with you guys, and I know it's not always possible on the big channels with Paddock and with United People's TV and United Stand. Look, those guys get 20,000 people in a stream. We get 200 people tops. So it is very easy for me to be able to go through you guys, read everyone's comments out. I like doing it because you guys are giving me time out of your day. It's the very least I can do is listen to you guys' opinions. So everything Carpi is saying, Joao Felix would be mega on loan this season. That is a move we have seen talked up in recent days. Now, whether it happens or not, let's find out. I would not be against bringing in another forward option. I feel like we need more goals in this team. If it's Joao Felix on loan, that could be an interesting situation. That could be something we could be going for. So let's get talking here. So we have an update coming in from TalkSport. So Manchester United are expected to complete the £45 million signing of Andre Onana next week. So that will, of course, be the week just starting. Let me see. He's down there. Stephanie saying the storm is coming, the thunderstorm, but not thunderstruck. Honestly, guys, do you know what the problem is as well? It's like my bedroom has like a skylight, so I hear the rain so much heavier than everybody else. So to me, it sounds like we got a proper storm. It might just be a light shower of rain, all things considered. Let's see. Jarl is saying I would take Felix on loan, but we would need to get him in now. Look, I feel like that's going to be the case. Look, I expect to see Joao Felix leaving Atletico Madrid. Whenever a guy gets a number 7 shirt took off him, that's going to happen. He is going for sure. And I'm going to see what's going to happen here. Zian is saying, reports say if United cannot agree a deal with Rasmus Hojlund, he will hand in a transfer request. Yeah, look, I'm expecting him to push for the move. If personal terms have been agreed, he wants to come to Manchester United, and we've seen this in his interviews. And look, this might be an easy deal to wrap up on the player side. He has changed his agent. He is represented by the same agency that Erik Ten Hag is. So that was probably very easy. Erik Ten Hag probably rang his agent and said, can you set up a Zoom call with Rasmus Hojlund? I want to talk to the guy. That probably what happened. Paul McCarthy actually down there is saying United to Axel Disasi. That could happen. Let's see what happens, guys. And Vera says, why doesn't Joao Felix wanted at Atletico? I don't know. Look, there's been long-standing issues there. Look, Joao Felix came into Atletico Madrid and he was meant to be the next Griezmann, and they bought him for like 100 million euros. He was meant to be a superstar. I feel like Joao Felix made the worst possible move in going to Atletico, because this is an attacking player, a very young attacking player who had mistakes in his game, who wanted to take risks, and he was going to Atletico Madrid, not a team known for offensive, beautiful football where he would score a lot of goals. So I feel like he couldn't have made a worse move. It could be like honestly, it is a genuine disastrous move for Joao Felix. He should have come to Manchester United when we went knocking. Obviously, we were put off by the price. Let's see what happens in this summer transfer window, because that guy must have some of the worst advisors around him. So we do have a quote coming in here from Zion Suzuki. So he has said, I do not usually draw a big media crowd, but that's all I can say about that. So obviously he's being interviewed in Japan. All of a sudden everybody's interested in this kid. Let's see what happens. I feel like this is a move that can be done very easily. Zion is saying as well, what's your opinion on Atalanta getting Greenwood on loan? Look, I feel like United are taking a cop-out option. I feel like we're not addressing the situation. We're kind of kicking the can down the road. If Greenwood is going to come back and go to Atalanta, I think United will probably play him again. For right or wrong, regardless of everyone's opinion on that, I feel like if United wanted him gone, if they weren't going to play him, they would let him go. Let's see what happens. But I would like to see us take some sort of decisive action on it. Either let him go or bring him back in. Look, a lot of things have to go on there. A lot of work has to be done behind the scenes. There are people in the dressing room who want him back. There are people in the dressing room who do not want him back. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I can see a couple of guys making opinions down there on about our guy, Joao Felix. Rick is saying he's crap, we don't want him. And Vera says, I've never rated Joao Felix. Look, I haven't really I haven't really rated Joao Felix before. Look, I think there's a talented player in there, but I feel like in terms of the execution, his actual output is probably not high enough. Whether if he comes in on loan and makes a difference, let's see. But we could be talking like 10, 15 million pounds for a season-long loan. Maybe we would be safer getting hold on, guys. Maybe we would be safer going and getting in another player. Look, if you offer me the option between Mehdi Taremi, for instance, from Porto for 20 million, or loaning Joao Felix, I'm taking Taremi every day of the week, guys. Let me see. Nixon is saying, I wonder why Newcastle want Diasi. They have a lot of centre backs. Yeah, they do have a lot of centre backs. Maybe they're planning on moving some on. But, I mean, Newcastle are quite well stacked. I feel like he's probably better than Fabian Schär. I wouldn't put him ahead of Botman, for instance, but he might be a difference maker. Luman is saying, Stefan, would you accept an offer from Mark and United Stand to join them if they offered you? Probably not. Look, if an opportunity ever came up to work with those guys and go on there, absolutely, but not as a full-time thing. That was, I believe, the whole fallout between Rants, Flex, Said, and Goldbridge. I feel like that's where they left, because the United Stand kind of expect guys, you're exclusive to that channel. I like doing my own thing with you guys, like, so I wouldn't give that up for anything, honestly. Paul McCarthy is saying Romano is out 1 hour ago about Newcastle going for Diasi. That means Slab head going. Look, I hope he does go. I feel like it's time for Harry Maguire to leave Manchester United. It hasn't worked out. Harry Maguire at 80 million pounds is one of the biggest failures of a signing for Manchester United. And I feel like one of the reasons he hasn't been let go, and I'll tell you guys simply, is because somebody will have staked their entire professional reputation on that deal, on Harry Maguire coming to Manchester United. Somebody at the club, whether they're there now or they've left the club, they have put their career, their neck on the line, any creditability they will ever have in this game on Harry Maguire working out at Manchester United. And here's the fact, it hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out whatsoever, guys. Ken is saying Paul Ince said United should sign Thomas Partey. Do you agree with Paul Ince? No, I don't think we need Thomas Partey. I mean, there's a whole lot of issues that come with that. Of course, there's an ongoing investigation, I believe. I'm not really qualified to speak on that. But what I can say about Thomas Partey is he comes in, does he start over Casemiro? No chance. And I don't think we signed Thomas Partey for the money it would cost to bring him here, for the wages, to be a backup. I feel like there are better backup options out there at a better price who won't come in with a big wage demand, and who will want to come to be at Manchester United. That's what we want to see. Drop a like on the video as well, guys. We're up to 55 likes, so thank you very much for that. And in terms of the poll, we're almost at 200 votes. So if anybody hasn't voted on the poll yet, get your votes in on that. So 189 votes, 71% of you guys are going for Bruno Fernandes as the next Manchester United captain. You guys are agreeing with Eric Ten Hag. Maybe Eric Ten Hag is in here as well, dropping likes and dropping votes on the poll. Who knows who might be in one of these videos? Look, if Eric Ten Hag's in here, please sell Harry Maguire. If Sheikh Sim's in here, please buy Manchester United. And let's hope, and let's see what happens. Nixon is saying, I prefer Amrabat than Partey. Yeah, I think Amrabat's a better fit for us. Ken is saying, do you rate YouTuber Alice Talks Football? I've seen some of her stuff. I don't really watch her YouTube videos, but she would come up on like my TikTok sometimes. Yeah, I mean, Alice is good. Like, it's she does a lot of news stuff, and also like I like the content. I appreciate it. So but honestly, like, one of the big things I prefer doing as well is like I love watching like tactics videos, looking at scouting stuff. So there's some really good creators out there. There's Jack Fawcett, HTO MEFC, even like Stephen Howson. His scouting videos are really good. So I like a lot of those guys. Jason says, can you give my mate a shout out? Yep. Was it Phil, is it? Yeah, so shout out to Phil if you're watching, man. Yeah, I feel like that's like the first ever shout out I've ever had to do. And I know Goldberg gets like a million of them per stream, but if anybody wants a shout out, guys, far away. But I will actually do a shout out as well. I want to do a shout out for a couple of guys, some of the channel members. So of course we've got Daniel, we've got Hot Fuzz in here, we also have Dan as well, and we have Big T. So big shout out to those guys, big shout out to all the regular viewers. We're up to 200 votes on this poll now, and 73% of you guys are saying Bruno Fernandes next captain. I love to see it. I feel like that's going to be the right move for Manchester United. So speaking on this issue as well, guys, let's get talking. Axel Disasi, because I was actually just reminded about this. So this has come in from Fabrizio. So United and Newcastle are both exploring Axel Disasi deal. No bids yet. Eric Ten Hag has approved Disasi. Talks for weeks on the player side, but still waiting for an approach with Monaco. So I feel like we're waiting on some guys there. I feel like we're waiting on a sale, perhaps. But I like Disasi. I think maybe there's better options out there in terms of an on-ball playing point, but I feel like he would be a good option coming in alongside Lisandro Martinez as a backup to Varane. Maybe that's a smart move in my opinion. Ken is saying, what do you think United will finish next season in the league? Look, it's very early to be pulling out the old prediction videos, but let's see. Look, I don't think we're going to win the league. I don't think we're at that level where we can finish above Man City. I feel like Arsenal are having a very good transfer window. They will be stronger, probably stronger than Manchester United next season. Bringing in Rice and Timber will absolutely help that team out. I still feel like they lack a proper striker and they lack the goals, but I feel like United, a realistically good season would be top 4 and winning another trophy. So long as we get to see the progress, that's what we need to see. That's the most important word. If we get better next season, have a Champions League run, maybe get to the quarterfinals, win a trophy, and finish top 4, I feel like that would be another season of improvement. Let me see who we got down here. I can see Vera is saying Tavito is better. Yes, I actually prefer Jean-Claire Tavito as well to Axel Disasi. And Jason is saying, hi, I'm Jason from South Africa. Love your channel. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. And honestly, guys, this is one of my favorite things about doing the channel. And look, we're a small channel. We've got like 1.4k. But there's guys on here from Ireland, there's where I'm from, there's guys from England, Scotland, Wales. We've had American guys on here. There's people from Jamaica, South Africa, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Zambia. So massive shout out to you guys. Honestly, like, genuinely, we're a small channel, but you guys' support is all around the world. And that does just sort of show that everybody around the world, you know, no matter where you are, if you're a United supporter, everybody's welcome for sure, guys. Stephanie is saying 58 likes. Let's see if we can get another 42. Yes, guys, drop a like on the video would be very much appreciated. RSV says, my main worry is Bruno goes against the big sides away from home. I don't want to see another Bruno type performance at Anfield ever again. Look, I feel like, yeah, look, I agree with you, man. And I feel like on that day, the entire team let themselves down. It wasn't just Bruno Fernandes. It was across the board. But I do agree. Look, the most important thing is stepping up in big matches. And Bruno has had some very good performances against the big teams. Last season, across the board, it was a massive failure for United in terms of the actual away form. Look, let's see that improve. And I feel like we have the guys in the squad now. I feel like we will be able to play a better style of football that will help us do well against the away teams, especially the top six. So let's see what happens there. It will be a big ask for United to improve in that regard, but I feel like we have the capabilities, we have the team to do it. And let me see, Jesus is saying, clip this, Manchester United will finish above Arsenal. Yeah, I'm gonna get clipped up for reading that comment out now. Look, honestly, guys, I tell you when I will get clipped up. I will get clipped up for the predictions video, so I will be doing that. So maybe we'll do a stream as well. We'll get you guys on for the Premier League predictions as well. RSV says, I was saying that already, sorry. Chase is saying, I'm Nigerian, good work. Thank you, man. And Terry shows, show United have the best support all over the world. Honestly, guys, United have the best support all over the world. And I genuinely have the best support. I couldn't ask for any more from you guys. You guys are genuinely absolutely incredible. Limon is saying, would you exchange Sancho plus cash for Harry Kane? Yes, I would. Now, I like Sancho, but I feel like Harry Kane in this team would make such a difference that we would go from being like a top 4 team to pushing for the title with Harry Kane alone. That is the difference I think he would make. Now, whether it happens or not, let's find out. There are, of course, the Bayern Munich links. Now, whether he goes to Bayern, I'm not sure, because he wants to break that all-time top goal scoring record. That's what he wants to do. And he won't achieve that at Bayern Munich. Now, here's the thing I will say about Harry Kane. Harry Kane could go to Nottingham Forest. Harry Kane could go to Luton Town and probably break that all-time top goal scoring record. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about that, because he is that good. If he comes to United, he will break that record and he will have a much better chance to win some trophies. And that's the biggest thing in his career that he hasn't got. Ronnie is down there, Manchester United forever, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you very much for that one. RSV says, I would love to see him, but the only problem is he cannot lead the press. Look, he has played in some of those pressing systems at Tottenham, but I do agree. I feel like we have better press leaders in the team. That's why I think Hojlund could be a really good option. At 20 years old, the guy has legs to burn. He has pace to burn. So I think we could see him leading the press from the front, but it will be a much better press from United next season. Playing up the pitch, making the pitch smaller will make the press sorry, a lot easier. Let me see. Sniper Patch is saying, any news with the Seal saga? Love the channel. From County Cork. Oh, thank you very much, man. Not too far from myself, of course. In terms of the Seal, very little in terms of actual like progress or anything. The only real updates and stuff that we have found out this week was basically that the 9-2 Foundation had been registered in the Cayman Islands from April, so that would have to be done to facilitate a sale, because United, like, this shows the mess of Manchester United. Anybody who knows financials, I mean, we have a club based in Manchester, we are floated on the New York Stock Exchange, and we are incorporated in the Cayman Islands, and that is to avoid taxes. So, look, everybody, whether it's Radcliffe, whether it's Sheikh Tassim, they have to go out and incorporate themselves in the Cayman Islands, their company, to pay the Glazers, and they will do that probably tax-free. That's the way they will work around it. In terms of other stuff, we have seen the 9-2 Foundation incorporated in the UK Companies Register. It's the same for Ineos, obviously, and yeah, that's pretty much all we have. Look, the groundwork is set on both sides. Transactional documents are done on both sides. It comes down to the Glazers accepting a bid. Ryuk is saying, do you think Onana will win the Golden Glove? Look, that's a really good question, man. I will say this, and it's very, very difficult to start. Now, I feel like United have a very good defence. In terms of our actual backline, looking at Wan-Bissaka or Diallo, Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw, Casemiro in front of them, I think that's brilliant. Now, we won the Golden Glove last year, make no mistake about it. De Gea did very well to win that, and there was matches where he made some brilliant saves. But I do feel like Manchester United can go on and build upon that. And we're counting on it, because keeping those clean sheets was the difference in finishing outside the top 4 and finishing inside the top 4. If we didn't keep the clean sheets, we wouldn't have won that many matches. So the key thing is, of course, keeping that defensive record strong, getting as much clean sheets as possible, and then scoring more goals at the other end. Last season, look, it was very much a case that we lacked the goals, we lacked the tools to really play the Erik Ten Hag style of football. But what we did have was a very solid defensive unit that didn't let a lot of goals in, and we were very difficult to beat last season. So let's hope we can keep doing that. Alema is down there as well. Happy Sunday, bro. Happy Sunday to you, man, as well, and to everybody else. I hope you guys have had a really good weekend, because I've had a good weekend. I'm looking forward to this week. Hopefully going to see this Onana deal done. Hopefully going to see United making progress on this Hojlund deal. And let's see Manchester United stake 5 or 6 goals past Leeds United. Even if it is a friendly match, that's always a nice day for any Manchester United fans. Zian is down there as well. Who is United's greatest ever player? There's a question there, man. Look, there are many, many players we can say are the greatest Manchester United player. Honestly, you look at Wayne Rooney, for instance, top goal scorer, hard to look past him. Bobby Charlton from the iconic era in the 1950s and 60s. Then we've got Best, of course. We've got Dennis Law, Ballon d'Or winners, Cristiano Ronaldo up there. We have Eric Cantona, who changed the entire game for Manchester United. Ryan Giggs, most appearances. Paul Scholes, the best midfielder of his generation. So there are a lot of potential players we could go with. Look, I can only really talk in terms of what I've seen as a fan. I feel like that's probably something you guys can respect that. And I think as a fan from the years 1998, that's when I was born, of course, my first matches I remember are around 2004. So I would probably have to say Ronaldo, or for Rooney in my lifetime, I'm probably going to give it to Rooney, all things considered, but that's just my thoughts, guys. Get your thoughts down in the comments on that one. Hot Fuzz is saying, I think I'm going to do a video later with my concern on the sales process regarding the Glazers. Saw some Swedish account on Twitter covering the subject. Yeah, absolutely. And for anybody who does not know, Hot Fuzz is an absolute legend. He's a channel member, and he has his own channel as well where he does some United content. So if anybody wants some additional content today, check out his channel as well, especially if he gets his video up. Yeah, big shout outs, of course, to you, man. Ronnie is saying, hit the like button, guys. Yeah, we're up to 62 likes, so that's a lot, guys. Thank you for that as well. If anybody else wants to hit that like button, would be very much appreciated. And Nijiru says, Ruud van Nistelrooy, best of them all. And Ken is saying, Duncan Edwards, a great player from what I've seen on YouTube. Yeah, look, from people who have played in that team and around the club, they said that Duncan Edwards was one of the best players United ever had. And he was so young that he could have been anything in football. Ruud van Nistelrooy, absolutely devastating striker, was slightly before my time. I believe Van Nistelrooy left in 2005, so we only really had a season or two with Ruud at the club. Now, Ronaldo and Rooney, I remember that run. Of course, was always a massive fan of Scholes and Giggs, guys like that, you know. A lot of top players across the seasons. Alema is saying Bruno will be a good captain. Reminds me of Captain Rob O'Brien Robson. And Ronnie is saying George was the best. Honestly, George Best. Look, I've seen clips. I've spoke to people who remember watching George Best play. Like, I believe my granda saw him playing as well. He saw him play for Fulham when he lived in London, and said, like, the talent. I mean, the things George Best did on muddy pitches with a ball that was like 3 pounds weight, made of leather, it would be difficult to replicate now in the modern day. Let's see, Zane is saying, who is the worst Man United player ever? Look, there's a lot of players up there. Jemba probably is up there. Bebe, some of the worst players. Tabili, the Italian goalkeeper. I don't know, man. I'll probably go Bebe. I feel like Bebe is one of the worst I've ever seen. Greg is saying, hard to pick favourites for United's best ever player. Brian Robson is the reason I supported Manchester United, and probably the most complete player I've ever seen. Look, my dad is obsessed with Brian Robson, and he will argue his case all day long. And like, Brian Robson, look, a long time before my time. He left United like 6 years before I was born. Now, I've seen clips, I've been talking to my dad and stuff about it. He always said one of the best things about Brian Robson was when he played, Manchester United played better. And that's the biggest compliment you can give to any player. Sniper is saying the decision to give Mount the number 7 is crazy. I wish the lad well, but there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders now. Glazers out. Thank you very much for that one, man. Look, it is big pressure. It's a big shirt to wear for Manchester United. Now, I think the thing is with Mason Mount, and I will say this to anybody, and the number 7 shirt especially, before it was a bigger thing, I feel like some of the shine of it has been worn off by the string of pathetic number 7s we've had. From Ronaldo left in 2009, we've had Michael Owen, a former Liverpool player. We've had Memphis Depay. We've had Di Maria. We've had Antonio Valencia, who gave the shirt up. We have had Cavani, who had one good season in lockdown before leaving the next season. We had Ronaldo the second time around, and that ended very poorly for Manchester United. So I feel like some of the gloss has been worn off. I feel like it is still a big thing, but look, I hope Mason Mount does well with it. As Zane is saying, Rio Ferdinand was a great player. Yeah, absolutely. Let me see who else have we got. Alema is saying started following United in 1994. Thank you very much for that one, man. Honestly, some of you guys have been around supporting United before I was born. Like, that is top red level, top fans, of course. Let me see who else we got down here. Zane is saying, how much would best be worth today? Honestly, I don't think we can really put a price on it, because what George Best could have been in this day and age, where he would have had people looking after him, would have been insane. Let me see as well. Nigeri says the passion exhibited by Casemiro, he should get the captaincy. I feel like that's a good shout, and I would like to see Casemiro maybe as a deputy captain, a vice captain maybe. But look, I feel like we're going to go for Bruno. I feel like that's going to be the play Eric Ten Hag goes with. Big arguments for Casemiro wearing that shirt. Big leader on the pitch. Great player as well. Let me see. Zian is saying he scored the best goal ever. I would say Rooney versus Newcastle. I don't know, man. I would probably go with Rooney versus Man City. That could be one. Greg says William Prunier is definitely the worst United player. Oh, he's definitely up there, man. Ronnie is saying Brian Robson is my favorite United player ever. Injury robbed him of being the greatest. Thank you very much for that one. Stephanie saying Paul Scholes needs a shout. Absolutely. Like, people try to compare Steven Gerrard and Lampard to Scholes. Scholes was always better. Make no mistake about it. He could do everything they could do, and they couldn't do half the things that Paul Scholes did on the pitch for Manchester United. RSV said started supporting around 2006 because of that game against Fulham. I fell in love with Ronaldo and Rooney. Thank you very much for that. Alema says best will cost 250 in today's market, and Nigeri says best goal is Rooney against Man City. Thank you very much. Look, I think that's one of the best ones. If we want a really underrated shout, like, I loved the Ryan Giggs goal against Arsenal, 1999 FA Cup semi-final. Absolutely fantastic. That could be a brilliant option. And Ken is saying, if you had to support another team, who would it be? Oh, it's an interesting one, man. Look, if I had to support anybody, probably going to be one of my local teams, I guess. So, like, some of the League of Ireland teams, maybe. The Irish League teams, maybe that's what we go with. Who have we got down here? Harry Maguire is in the chat. The United philosophy, hello, I don't want to leave. Good to see you, Harry. Sorry about losing the captaincy, man. I do apologize for that, but obviously not my call. And so, yeah, look, if any of you guys had to support another team, who would you go for? I know some people support other teams as well, so let me know. Ronnie said Harry. Chase is saying, shout out to HM93. United 876. Varane, the real captain. Look at the high fives and fist pumps when he's on the pitch. Yeah, look, you guys can be. You can be a leader on the pitch. You can be a captain without wearing an armband, in my opinion. And I feel like this might be the case of it. Just because Bruno is wearing that armband on his arm doesn't make Casemiro not a leader, doesn't make Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Eriksen, Rashford, guys like that not a leader. So I feel like that's what we're going to be doing. Hot Fuzz is saying mine would be FC United of Manchester. My local club is a lost cause. Yeah, I mean, let me think. I don't know, like, part of me has had a little bit of a soft spot for Salford City at times, maybe. Would sometimes I watch them as well. I've actually been to some of their matches, so certainly an interesting experience going to League Two football. Let me see. Alema is saying Ryan Giggs made me fall in love with Man United. Ken is saying, who is the most underrated player? I would say Michael Carrick. Yeah, Michael Carrick. Genuinely, if Michael Carrick was Spanish, he would have played 100 times for his national team. He was underappreciated because he didn't run about slide tackling and hoofing the ball. But he was a brilliant player. Look, guys, a lot of votes on this poll as well. 260 votes so far, and 73% are going with Bruno Fernandes, 5% with Rafael Varane. We have 10% with Licha Martinez, and 12% for Casemiro. Thank you for all that there as well. Roma is down there saying Bruno should be captain. Ken was saying I would support Wycombe Wanderers, my local football club. Thank you for that, man. Honestly, like, I feel like there's other clubs we look out for, but it's always going to be United for all of us. Like, absolutely. Terry is saying Starbridge FC, local team. Thank you. Stephanie saying the reserves. And Nixon is saying United should replace Fred with Llorente from Atletico, and Van de Beek should be replaced by Amrabat. Thank you very much for that one. And Greg is saying, I'm from South Wales and support Swansea City. Also, I'm taking my boy to watch him on the 25th, but United will always be my first love. Thank you very much for that there, Greg. And honestly, hope you guys have a very good time watching Swansea City, and hope they win in that match. Let me double check the... Just checking as well, guys, just to make sure if there was any news. Doesn't seem to be too much breaking. It's a slow Sunday. People enjoying their Sunday dinner instead of doing transfer deals. Alema says Real Madrid are the only other team I support. Stian is saying my local team is West Ham or Leyton Orient. And Ronnie is saying, I'm not going to lie, I voted for Bruno when he sulks. We are under pressure sometimes. Yeah, I mean, he can be. Look, every player sulks. Sometimes the players' heads drop. Players react to things in different way. Like, there's a lot of players. I feel like Luke Shaw is a brilliant player, but when things are going bad, his head drops. And that's an issue I've had with him before. I feel like Casemiro, when things aren't going well, he jumps into tackles. I feel like Licha Martinez probably jumps into tackles. Everybody deals with things in different ways. We've seen Roy Keane say when things go bad, you want to go out and smash somebody. Eric is down there. Eric from Ghana, please, how far with the takeover? Good to see you, Eric. Let's get talking about this. So, takeover, not too much progress made. Overall, we're probably looking at another couple of weeks of this, but I do feel like the next time we see a big update, the next big update probably will be everything agreed. That's what I think is going to happen. I feel like that's going to be where we go from this, and it will come soon. It will come very soon. Make no mistake about it. Let me just double check this, guys. There we go as well. We'll pop that in. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them down. Limman said, have you been to Old Trafford? Yeah, I've been several times, man. Most recent one was Bournemouth this season. 3-0 win. Was a good one. Casemiro, Shaw and Rashford scored that day. As Diana saying, my family support West Ham. Me and my stepdad are the only ones who support Man United. Thank you for that, man. And yeah, I mean, fair play to West Ham, obviously winning Conference League. That's great for those guys as well. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them down in the comments. If you guys are new, please consider hitting the sub button as well. And if you guys want to support the channel even more so as well, there is a membership link down there. So big shout out to the existing members, of course, Big T, Daniel, Dan and Hot Fuzz. Thank you very much for the support, guys. I am going to drop off here now because I can hear my dinner getting put out and I'm absolutely starving. So guys, thank you very much for joining in with me on this Sunday afternoon. I hope you guys have a very good Sunday night wherever you guys are doing, and I will see you all tomorrow same time, 7:30. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you all tomorrow.